right.
I think we good.
Yes, we are.
What's up, y'all? What's up? It's been a while since we have been together.
Life talk.
Oh
We're
my
back.
God, we are definitely back. So stay tuned for a lot of great conversations, including the one we're gonna have today. Yeah, I see this.
That copy?
Look, if you haven't, please go out and support this book. I'm telling you, it's a great read. It's also, I think, a quick read.
Yeah, it shouldn't take you more than 2 days, maybe.
She's had some friends that actually kind of completed it in one day.
24 hours.
So that means they nosy. And it could also mean it's like a book that you can't put down. It's so good. You just don't want to put it down. Listen, I want to commend you because this is an accomplishment. A lot of people don't get an opportunity to kind of write a book.
Right.
And especially us. So let's support each other. You know, I'm big on that. So go out and get this.
Oh, what a shame.
Oh, what a shame. Oh, great.
And on Amazon Books. So it does have a lot of punctuations in there, but if you literally just type "oh, what a shame," it will come up as well. So if you go to books, your books, in Amazon and type the book in, it'll come up. So you shouldn't have any problems. It was taking about 4 to 5 days to come before. Now it's coming within 1 to 2 days. So you should be able to get it, and you're not going to want to put it down. This is I wrote 2 books. This is the first one that I actually published. I am editing my book number 2.
Come on, book.
I know. I'm editing my book number 2, and that will be out in like the summertime. So give you a summertime read. We have a few people on so far, and that's good, fine. Y'all. We are going to start. We're gonna dive right in because I did have some questions that people did send me prior to the live and to my inbox. So we are gonna address those, and we're gonna address some other ones from the book just in case. So if you have any questions, please put it in the chat. Put it in the chat or text me. Oh, no, not text me because that's my phone. My phone.
Oh, because it's going to come up. We're not going to be able to read it.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do another live. We'll address the ones if we don't catch those, people that have questions. If we don't catch it, send it to us later. We'll definitely do another live because I'm pretty sure it's going to be quite a riveting experience. All right. So stay tuned.
The difference between last year of my talk show and this year is I have a baby.
Yeah, she was good. And I don't know if y'all could tell, I was kind of alluding to it. I was kind of making jokes in reference to it. And I don't know if you guys caught it or not, but 9 months later. Okay. 9 months later, oh, what a shame.
Right. It would be me that has drama. It would be me. So if you guys followed our live, you know I'm a mess. So it's only
she
right.
ain't that bad.
Only right.
She ain't that bad. She ain't that bad. We all got a little bit of drama. A little bit of drama is okay.
I don't think I have a little bit. I had a lot of it. I have a little bit now, but I had a lot of it a few months ago. So, but let's get into it. So we have.
Oh, what a shame. Now, the moment I actually read that, I was like, automatically, I said, oh, what a shame. Why? Where does that come from? It's not, oh, what a shame. It's, oh, what a shame.
Right.
So it's a play on words?
It's a play on words. So my son's name is Shane. His name is Shanee Alexander. I wanted to do a hyphen thing, but people don't respect the hyphen anyway. So I was like, I'm not going to even go through that. So his name is Shanee Alexander. So yes, my sister actually helped me come up with a title that will include his name. And we had a bunch. We threw a bunch around. Like, it's such a shame. Like, I was like 10 of them we had.
It's a shame.
Right. We had so many trying to figure it out. So, I finally settled on, oh, what a shame. And the punctuation is O exclamation point, what question mark, and then Shane at the bottom is an exclamation point and a question mark because it's a mess, and then what is happening, and then a Shane, like I'm excited that he's here, and this is just a big.
Wait, she's got to do that again because I didn't catch it. Please do that again one more time. The O and
Wait, that was authentic. That was like not rehearsed.
I
I don't
know.
think I can get it.
Well,
Again.
please explain it because I think the emphasis on the wording is actually
It's important. So
very
it's like what is happening? Like
exclamation point.
because it was a mess. It was like a lot happening at first, and then what is happening and why is this happening? Which is the second part of the book, and then the third part of the book is a shame, and it combines the mess with the questioning of what's happening.
And the answer.
It ends with my baby. So that is exactly why. So the subtitle is Love, Heartbreak, and a Baby. So that's basically how the book is broken down.
But see, that's what I'm saying. That's a little bit of drama, but that's something that a lot of us have all experienced. You just said love, heartbreak, and a baby. Yeah. A lot of us have experienced the same thing. Absolutely. So, of course, your story is specific to you. But people may share relative stories, similar to what you have experienced, which is a good reason that we're actually sharing this as well, yes. So that's really kind of cool. Go and get it. Oh, what a shame. Okay.
What a shame.
And I was going to say shame, but listen. Also, so Shane, and your name is what?
Shanee. So Shane, the name Shane was actually given to me by God, and for those of you that believe, cool. If you don't, cool. But I've never had a name for a son ever. Like in my mind, I've always was gonna name my son a junior. So I never thought of boy names ever. Like girls think about if I have a baby, I'm gonna name them these things. Even when we're super young, I never had a name for a boy. So and then ironically, because this is literally spelled like my name just dropped an E.
One E.
I never ever thought of Shane. And one day I was laying down and literally it whispered in my ear, like the name was given to me in my ear, and I hurried up and I'm like, Shane, and I hurried up and jumped up and Googled what Shane meant, and Shane meant a gift from God or gracious gift. So that was my confirmation that I was going to be pregnant. I was going to have a son, although I wanted a daughter, but I knew I was going to be a boy. So I knew these things, and I knew that he was going to be awesome because that name was given to me, and I've never thought about it before. So his name had to be on the book. Like it means too much. So
yeah. Well, that's really good. I mean, that's really, really good. All right, so let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's get into the book's contents. You guys want to know what the whole exclamation point is about, the what question mark is about, and we are going to give you a couple of entries into the book. Very, very, very exciting and good read. Okay, so let's get into it. I want to actually ask you a couple of questions regarding some of the chapters. So we'll just kind of highlight some of those things.
Okay.
And you can kind of like talk about it a little bit.
Gotcha.
Guys, I hope you guys are seated and you are buckled in. Okay? All right. Very, very good read. Here we go. So let's start here before we actually go on. What prompted you? We talked a little bit about it, but what actually prompted you to write this book? What I know, on the back, you kind of detail you were inspired by a teacher and that kind of thing. Maybe you want to just expand a little bit.
Yeah, so writing has always been my outlet. I used to write poetry, and I get it how songwriters like need to get back to their roots to write songs because you lose it sometimes, especially if you was writing in a broken place and then you were delivered and then you're trying to get back to that place without being broken again. So writing has always been an outlet for me. Like I said, poetry or short stories or stuff like that. It allowed me to be somewhere that I wasn't in my hectic life.
Wow.
So the reason that I wrote now is because I just felt like everyone around me thought they knew the story because, of course, I talked about it or I talked about this person or whatever. But I never got into everything. So I felt like in order for me to heal from what was going on with my son's father/donor, I had to write it. Like I had to write it down because I had to create the atmosphere for people to really understand my hurt, my pain, my anger, my frustration. So that's what prompted me to write it. It was just like writing a long text message for me, just being able to get it out. Like, we did this, we were able to do that. Like, you know, but instead of being angry about it, I actually thought about it, and I what's the word?
Comprise or put it together.
Something.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah. We'll come back with.
I actually put it together, and in order for me to get the anger out, I had to make it grammatically correct. So it forced the anger to turn into like more of a guide instead of just an angry component. So yeah, so that's what prompted me.
So I actually like that answer. So just to let you know, this is not a way to target.
No.
The objective isn't to target anybody. The objective isn't to trash anyone. She just really kind of explained what she needed to do. She needed to put pen to paper and just talk about the experience. And in doing so, of course, you express or talk about, you know, its entirety. So everything may not be so appealing, and we may not like everything that is said, but at the same time, it was just an opportunity to kind of get your story out.
Right. And basically. It's sold on Amazon. Somebody said, where is it sold? It's on Amazon.
Go to Amazon. Go to Amazon. All right. Okay. So that's the first question we had. All right. Let's get into the book itself. Okay. Let's talk about perhaps. I like this one. I know it. Okay. She make it because I'm old. I keep telling just because I'm old. The Lord has guided me.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes.
All right. The first one we want to talk about is chapter 1, the meat. Can you please talk about that particular chapter?
So it was a woman story.
I can't. Listen. No, ma'am. No. We want the real, not the woman story.
So yeah, 2014, I was at the gas station. He talked to me at the gas station.
Always at the gas station.
Yeah, I look like a bum, so I didn't know anybody was talking to me. But yeah, we met at the gas station. We kind of just exchanged numbers. We didn't communicate at first. I think maybe a few days went past before we actually talked. And then we got, you know, to know each other. We went to dinner, stuff like that, and yeah, that was 2014. It's 2023.
So you were just at a random gas station.
Random gas.
Gonna get some gas.
Pumping my
cigarettes.
Gas.
Oh, gas. Okay, it's good gas. So just, I mean, you guys, I'm pretty sure have experienced that. You've gone out to the gas station, you know what I'm saying, and you just happened to meet somebody that was just basically...
Just at the gas station.
So what?
Or maybe he was getting cigarettes.
Or maybe he was... So is there anything in particular that caused you to like, okay, he's nice looking?
Yeah, so he was tall. Like, he wasn't
swag.
Really... Okay, so yeah, his swag. Like, he's not really my type when it comes to looking. Because I usually like guys with meat on their bodies.
Meat
not
as a
fat.
muscle? Okay.
Not fat, but like
just
a dad bod.
Tia did the same thing.
First of all, Tia, that was him.
That's what she always say. She be like, I like the man.
Well, yeah, I like dad bods. I don't really like the little skinny, and he wasn't skinny chiseled. He was just skinny, like just
okay,
you know,
just skinny, not chiseled.
Skinny, yeah. Okay. So that wasn't really my thing.
Was the eyes pretty eyes, nice hair?
He had a big gap.
Oh.
So it had to be the swag.
Okay.
It was the swag. Okay. He was swagged out. He had on a polo sweatsuit with some Jordans, and it was raining. So I thought, you know, if you could put it on in the rain, then what can you do when it's not raining?
That's
you know,
so
it was just like, okay. And plus, I just moved down here 2014, so it was like the first guy that I, you know, kind of met. So it was just like, okay, cool. I don't know anybody here, so I just kind of yeah. So.
Is it typical for you, like when you go to the gas station, somebody hollers? They like, is that?
It depends on the area, because I've lived in a lot of areas with the Hispanics.
She's trying to be modest.
But no,
she got her hair out. She be like,
North Carolina, men are not as aggressive as Jersey.
Oh, it's different. Way different.
Yeah, in Jersey's, how you doing? What's up, boo?
What's good?
You know what I'm saying?
Holler at you.
Yeah, and then you don't talk to them. They like, you was ugly anyway, you little. You know what I'm saying? They don't get that down here. I know that you was ugly anyway.
Right.
But no, they don't do that down here. So.
Wow. Okay.
But he's not from here. He's from Philly. So
He's from Philly. Did he tell you how long he was down here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since he was like a teenager.
Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. So he basically still is Philly, like. Okay. Okay. All right. Next chapter. Moving on. Okay. I like this one. Actually going down. Other break. Getting closer. Another break. Chapter number 5. This is how we say it in Germany. Scheiße gets real. Shit gets real.
And he liked that one because it had a curse in it.
Yeah.
You know, anytime he could add a little swearing.
You know, why
not? So this chapter is actually the juicy chapter because we had a very open relationship. Like, so it wasn't, and I say relationship just as a bond, not a relationship as in boyfriend, girlfriend. We had a very open relationship.
Pause. Now open, because that can mean a lot of different things.
Open meaning, okay, so more so like, I don't care what you do, you don't care what I do kind of thing.
You could date other people?
Well, it wasn't not a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, just like a friendship relationship, like a business relationship or a partnership. So we were in like a, you know, I see you, you see me, we hang out.
So is that what you wanted, or how did you come to that conclusion?
It was just chill. It wasn't never any pressure on either one of us. Like,
and that was okay with you?
Yeah, the first couple of years we were just really just chill. It wasn't anything like that. So, which is why this pissed me off, this situation, because this girl in the book, I made her name Keisha.
Keisha.
In the
Good
book,
name.
Because Keisha, I'm not gonna say. I use Keisha because I felt like that.
Okay.
So Keisha calls my phone while I was in Jersey for my 30th birthday. Oh, and I was getting fitted for my outfit, and a girl was just on the phone like, you know, happy birthday. And I'm like, who is this? And she's like, well, I think it's rude to not say happy birthday. I mean, thank you. And I'm like, well, I don't know who this is. So, you know, whatever. So I could tell she was childish. So I hung up. She called back. And I'm like, but it was a North Carolina number. So I'm like, who is this? Like I said, from North Carolina. Anyway, come to find out, it was somebody that he was dealing with. So the thing that made it bad was because if we're just friends, then nobody should be calling my phone, right? Like, you're not my boyfriend, or we don't have that type of, so if we're friends, and if you're my friend, I'm always going to protect you. I feel like you're supposed to stay protected if I'm your friend. There's no drama. There's not a need for drama because, you know, so if you were dealing with somebody, you should have put my phone number in your phone as Pizza Hut or something. I mean, just so it wouldn't be the drama. So once I finally figured out who she was, I called him because she admitted it, and I called him, and you know, he said he was going to handle it or whatever. But if you read further along in the book, you'll find out who this person becomes at a later date.
Wow.
Right.
Okay, so much to unfold there. I want to.
I'm 35. So that was 5 years ago. So that was 2019, I think. So now, mind you, 2014 to 2019, that's 5 years that we were dealing with each other before the drama, which is, yeah. So,
but you know, I have to raise this because I know you, and I know you very, very well. All right. Why did you resort to just telling him? Normally you would have it on your own and beat somebody up. So I found that to be so awkward. That's really kind of mature of you, because the Shanee I know.
When I was in Jersey, so I couldn't get to him. Okay. So it wasn't maturity, really. I couldn't get to him.
That explains it. That explains it.
But then the second part is because we were friends.
Right.
I felt like that was his thing.
Oh, okay.
He had to handle that. Now, if that was my boyfriend, I would have handled it. You know, but that was just my friend. So I was like, hey, buddy, why you got people calling my phone? Kind of situation. And he handled it according to him at the time. Somebody said, wow, you're back.
Who said that?
Malik Young.
Oh, what's up, Malik? On my live, I thought it was your live. Okay. Malik, we back, man. That's my dude in Paris.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. So that was that.
Okay, so all right. So did you become at that point suspicious that he may possibly be in a committed relationship? Did you inquire at the time as well?
So when I got back, I don't know if he was staying with her or what the situation was, because like I said, she was really, really young. So I don't know if he was staying with her or whatever, but he stated that he got all his stuff from her house, and like that was that. Like that was done, and then he started staying with me a little while later. So at my house.
Okay.
So yeah.
So was that the first time and only time, or were there other instances where she called or somehow?
That was the first and only time that she called my phone. Yes. But according to the screenshots and stuff that I've gotten recently, she went from calling my phone to just stalking my Facebook because she has access to my Facebook, even though she's blocked. So I don't know if she created a fake page,
possibly,
or whatever.
That used to happen to me all the time. Don't sit and judge me. I say it.
It happens to me all the time. Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
okay.
So something was created, a fake page somewhere. I've been looking and looking, and I'm like, I have too many friends on social media for me to pinpoint which account is fake.
Right.
So, but what I do know is, remember that time I was supposed to get married and I didn't get married?
Right.
So after that, I deleted all my social media or deactivated it, and I haven't accepted a friend request since 2020.
Oh, wow.
It's 2023. So guess what that means? She's been on my page before 2020.
Right.
So it's been a while.
Wow, that's crazy.
Just watching.
I hope you guys are following this story. Maybe at the end we'll give you a synopsis for those that are coming on late. We can kind of give you all of the stuff that we already discussed.
Oh, what a shame.
While talking about what a shame, not on shame.
Amazon.
On Amazon, go get yourself a copy and give it to somebody else that may be in a similar situation. You never know.
That's the point.
Yeah, it's helpful. That's what y'all say in church, right? I'm testifying to help somebody else.
Yes. That's the purpose. Like Steve said at the beginning, this is not a book of bashing. I'm not a basher of anyone. I never care enough to bash anyone. But this is a book about me exposing my truth because I know it's going to help somebody else with their truth. Right?
I mean, had I known about it, I wouldn't have gone through what. Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't.
You can go.
Right. All right, good. I'm loving this so far, y'all. I hope you guys are keeping up with what's going on. This is a great story. But the points that we actually are not getting to, you have the opportunity to get into by when you purchase the book. It'll better explain, I guess, some additional points that we may not address. Because, again, we're just going over a couple of the chapters, all right? So let's go to, we go from the meat at the gas station, I'm picking up cigarettes, to next chapter being shit gets real. It's so funny because I would never say shit before.
Oh, well, you've been saying it a lot recently. A lot. And all the other words. The swear word.
Y'all see how people do? She sat here judging me after I read this doggone book.
No judgment. It's just this is what was going on.
Because we were taught that in church. Why am I going to that? We were taught not to curse. We didn't curse. Right. I got a lot of trauma. I'm still dealing with trauma.
It's okay.
Yeah, so now I'm saying it and saying it freely. Like, that's crazy. Okay.
Like when you tell your kid, like, you got one time that you can say whatever curse you want and they just say all of them.
I see that on TikTok a lot. Cracking me up, dying. Yeah. They be like, you can say it. Tell me what you really want to say. They be like, F you, Mom. Get the hell out of here. You just go to hell, Mom.
Like, that's how you really felt.
Right, yeah. Don't you say that, Shane.
I know, right?
All right. So we got Shit Gets Real. And the third one, I think I want to discuss 4, if that's okay.
Thank you, Myron. It's on Amazon.
Yeah, Myron, go grab it. So this, I want to talk about that one too. I didn't include that. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. All right, so I want to go to this one next. Up next, baby.
Yeah, that's chapter 10. So after all of the drama, at chapter 10, we finally get to the conversation of my son. So for those of you that know or don't know, I have some YouTube videos. My son was conceived through IVF. And for people that don't know, that's in vitro fertilization. So he was a petri dish baby. But yes. But at the same time, I asked 3 different people to be the donor for him. And this guy, who I'm just going to name B, who is, what's his name in the book, is B. So B is one of the 3. So, Myron's about, what page am I on? You're not in this book. You're in the book that's coming out.
Oh, you can't. No, he didn't.
You're in the book coming out on.
Yeah, we'll get around to you
in June. My next book. Basically, I asked 3 other people. The 2 people that I asked literally was like, I know you too well. I've known you too long, and there's no way I'm going to allow myself to have a baby with you and not be around. Like, I just can't do that. Like, logically, mentally, ethically, I can't give you this and not be a part of it, like, because I'm not just donating to a bank. I know you.
So that's what you wanted. You wanted just a donor, just somebody to give you the baby and then not have any dealings at all with the baby? Was that the...
Pretty much, in a nutshell, like, not necessarily. So my whole thing was I never want a baby daddy drama. Go figure, right? I never want a baby daddy drama. So my whole point or purpose was to be in a situation where he is mine. So legally, financially, anything that I needed to make, I don't have to ask anybody for permission. So this is my son. You're not paying for him. You're not doing anything. That was my...
It's getting worse and worse, y'all.
That was my thing. So if I could have found someone that I was dealing with to have a child with, then that was fine. But I'm 35 years old and I didn't want to wait any longer to have a child. So I went to the other aspect of...
Excuse me.
IVF, like, okay, and then everybody's like, I would have gave you one. Men are doing men give random females babies, and but yeah, that's drama though, and that's not what I wanted. I didn't want that type of connection or attachment to anyone that felt like that I had to be a part of their situation because I had their baby. So that was kind of So when I asked him, he said he will let me know. Then he finally told me, he's like, yeah, I'll do it. But this is the drama, and this is where the lapse in understanding comes from. Because I did ask for a donor, and this is to clarify, just in case he's watching, because he's a psycho. I did ask for a donor, right?
Psychologist.
Yeah. I did ask for a donor. When we went and met with the therapist who has to sign off on whether or not we can do it.
Those are the steps?
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. My son was $20,000, guys. 20 bands. Okay. What? So they definitely speak to you first.
Wow.
When I got into the room after an hour and 45 minutes, she told me that he had something to tell me. And what he had to tell me was that he didn't want to be the donor. He wanted to be the dad. So I was thrown off. Like, what? But I'm not about to sit in there with these white folks being confused, going back and forth. So I was like, okay. And she said, but he does want to explain what that means and what that looks like for him. And I said, okay. The reason that I knew it was not as clear cut was because he told me he had too much going on in his life to be a parent.
So you were thrown off by that because you guys had that discussion.
Exactly. So he basically said, I don't know in what capacity I could be a father. He said, but I don't want to just be a donor. Like, I would like to be around, but not necessarily in the capacity of a father.
So I think that's corny when you gave him the outs in the beginning.
Yes.
And that's crazy because, and I guess he didn't want to appear to everyone else that he was a what people call a deadbeat or somebody who's not going to be involved in their child's life. So he kind of tried to... he was being pretentious, actually. He was trying to be something or appear to be something that he would later not really commit to.
Right. Again, I wanted my baby. So I was just like, fine. Like, it is what it is. It's fine. Like I said, he didn't put a dime into my son. Not that my son is a dollar sign, but I'm just saying he didn't put into, having the procedure or whatever. So it's just, okay, fine. The reason that I didn't do a unknown donor is because I needed to know who my child's father was. Even though, so as a donor, I still wanted to know, again, your background. Are you crazy? And you know, they do psychological tests and stuff on these people, but I lie on tests all the time. So I don't care how many tests you gave this man over here. I need to know, was his uncle in the corner rocking back and forth? Like, I needed to know a little bit more before I had a child with someone.
Absolutely. What's up, Derek?
So that was my reason of getting a known donor. But like I said, he threw me for a curveball when he said he wanted to be the dad and not the donor. So now here's the issue. When in this chapter, we were still very much so dealing with each other on the levels that we were dealing with each other since 2014. So we were still dealing with each other.
Right.
You know, y'all can fill in the blanks. So now this was a conversation that we've had multiple times about my son, and I think.
Oh no, Leslie, I'm sorry, my friend. Hey, Leslie.
I think that because we've been dealing with each other so long, and I've only gotten pregnant once naturally with him, I think, honestly, sitting back, I think he didn't think this was going to happen. So it was kind of like I got you. Not really thinking that
it was going to actually
materialize into a human.
Wow.
Because this is the reason why the other two said no. Because how could you know somebody and know somebody for years and know they have a child and know that child has your blood and your DNA and not be involved, not call, not text, not nothing? That's why the other two said no. So, and this was the reason, because I spoke to one of them after the fact, and he was like, "You should have just listened. I told you, that's why I said no, because this is crazy." He was mad at me. He's like, "This is crazy. There's no way. Like, there's no way me as a man could sit here and know I got a kid. I don't care if I donate." He said, "First of all, I would never donate into a bank or anything, because I could have 10 kids out here walking around and wouldn't know." Right. So this is basically what this chapter is about, is explaining how we got here from being a donor, because for some reason he thinks that everyone thinks he's just my baby daddy. Like, we slept together, I had a baby. Which I was trying to explain to him that no one thinks that. Everyone knows I had IVF. If you follow me, you know that I had IVF. If you follow me, I speak multiple times on multiple different platforms that I have a donor. But it's not as simple. And it's not as cut and dry or black and white as I made it seem, for a sense of, I guess, embarrassment and disappointment.
See, but what it sounds like to me is, I know, to me, perception is everything, and our, and that can vary, from person to person. You know what I'm saying? In this case, and now we're trying to maybe possibly figure out, his mindset. Like you said, your other friend said, well, he didn't think it was going to happen, so that probably could be his mindset. But again, perception is everything. We really, really don't know. Because I actually like talking to you, because you're very clear in, what you want. You explain it very well. You're not hiding anything or holding anything. And I know you're that way with all interactions. So I know it's not noun. Right. It's just who you are. It's just, what I'm saying? So, but again, perception is everything. Right. I said, little man. I said, little Shane talking to the world now. That pretty hair. Good, slick hair.
Y'all know I don't show my baby the
sure don't. So. And I was saying, why should I show the baby? But I get it. Okay, so yeah, but we really can't conclude, what I'm saying, his mindset. Right. You know what I'm saying? But
well, not yet, because remember, we got the email.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, cool. So that's real. I'm telling y'all really want to get this book. A very good read. My friend said she contemplated the very same thing.
Woo! Don't contemplate it with a known one. Contemplate it with just going to the sperm baby.
Les got a baby. Les got a beautiful baby boy. I don't know. Okay, we'll talk about that, Leslie. We got to talk about it anyway. All right, so let's go to Ein Mir. I'm speaking German, y'all. One more chapter. This one is interesting. And let's talk a little bit about this, because these are the traumas that we experience, in life. And because of our experience, sometimes it can cause depression and anxiety and regret and a baby. So let's talk about chapter 15, depression, anxiety, regret, and a baby. And I know a lot of you guys, your antennas are going to go up, because again, some of our experiences have caused us to experience these things here: depression, anxiety, and regret. So let's hear from your point of view as it relates to the story about depression and anxiety.
Right. Okay. So, because regret is before baby, don't they can see you. Because regret is before baby, I just want you guys to know I do not regret my baby at all. Like, not an ounce. So that is not what that is. The regret is me thinking that this person was somebody that they weren't, and I'm pretty sure that he's thinking that I'm a person that I'm not. But for those that know me, know I have been the same forever. One of the things that I pride myself on is being 10 toes down always. Like, I've never
Told you.
been a person to excuse me.
He's doing baby things.
One thing that I did put and then I did reach out to him before it got really bad, was to tell him that me having the baby was always because I wanted my son, but I did hope and have hopes that me having my son, he would finally see me to be seen. Like, I would be finally seen by him. Like, oh, she's a good person. She's a good mother. She's a good whatever. And he would finally see me and understand. So I do want to say that, just in case, because he did say he was going to rewrite a book back.
Right.
So I do want to say that, just in case he puts that in the book. You know how when people used to crack on you back in the day because you had 4 eyes, so you start the joke. Right. I got 4 eyes, and now what else? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
what else you got?
I want to put that out there. I did say that I would hope that I was in hopes that he would finally see me. Like, I never wanted to be in a relationship or anything. I just wanted once he told me that he wanted to be the dad, I started going off of that. Like, okay, we can be great co-parents. We can, we're friends. We're cool. We go to the movies. We go out to eat. We hang out. I come over to your house and watch a movie and cook or eat or chill or other stuff. ... So in my mind, I'm like, we're already dope friends. So now I have my son. We're just dope friends that share a baby. Again, not an expectation of being in a relationship or anything. So I was very much so blindsided with his reaction. So the bad part came. I'm just going to tell about another chapter in the book, which is very quick. It started unfolding at my baby shower because he asked me, what do I need? What do you need? My son is my son. Your relationship that you have with your kid is on you. I have nothing to do with that. But as my friend, he asked me as a friend, what do you need? And I said, well, if you can come to the baby shower and the birth, that's enough for me. No money. I don't need you to come to doctor's visits, baby shower, and birth. Those are the 2 things that you can do for me. No. So the week before, the Sunday before my baby shower, 6 days before, he texted me and said he can come, but he can't take any pictures. Now, you've seen I had a professional photographer there, right? I had a professional photographer at my baby shower. So my response was immediately, no. You can stay home. I can't tell people not to take pictures of you. That's weird. Like, first of all, no one's thinking about you. So if they're taking pictures, they're not necessarily taking pictures of you, but you may be in some shots or something like that.
And not on purpose.
Yeah. And I'm like, and everybody, every man that was at my baby shower was all in relationships, all had girlfriends or married. Nobody said anything to me like that but him. And he said that the girl that he was dealing with was already uncomfortable with the situation and he doesn't want to make her feel more uncomfortable. At that point, the last 9 years went out the window because we're not friends. If you feel that way about taking a picture with me, your friend, because at the end of the day, we're friends, right? But it's a guilty thing because we're not just friends, we're friends with benefits. So if that's the case, you don't want that to be shown, right? Because if we were just friends, cordial, amicable friends, what's the picture? I took pictures with you. Like, I took pictures with men. I mean, your family, but I'm just saying, I took pictures with the males and I don't deal with none of them. But because you knew deep down inside that we still dealt with each other, that's why the picture didn't happen. But again, that hurt me more than I could ever bounce back from. So that was the start of the unraveling of the thread. Then then it got bad. Then the baby mother started sending him posts and screenshots from my Facebook, and it just started going downhill. So this is where all the anxiety and the depression came from, because it's like I would have never gotten into a situation with someone like this, whether donor or not, half a dad, whatever the situation was, if I knew it was going to be this toxic, and if I knew it was going to be this bad, and if I knew I was going to be crying every day at 9 months pregnant before I had my son. That was a lot. So you didn't care about me. And you don't care about the baby, obviously, because for you to bring so much drama while I'm pregnant, you don't care. Like you don't. You're not supposed to be drama. Bring drama to women while they're pregnant. So it was just really hurtful that this is what came out of this 9-year friendship. This understanding that we were gonna do this, and the understanding that I asked for him to be a donor, for him to flip the script. Like he said things before, like I'm gonna be a great dad. Oh, times 2. But if you're just the donor, then it wouldn't be times 2. It would just be just the one that you got. Right. So what would be the purpose of you saying times 2? You know? So right. That was one thing. Then the other, it was another situation. I asked him, since you just wanted to be the donor, is it weird for me to say your son, the baby, when I was pregnant? And he's like, no, it's not weird. Blah, blah, blah. Like we talked about that. He asked me at what capacity could he be in the baby's life. He wanted to be the godfather. Sir, that's weird. So once I said no, because I'm not lying to my son, once I said no, then we talked about other ways of him being around. I have, and in the back of the book, because I'm messy, y'all, because the Jersey City came out. So in the back of the book, I have screenshots of the messages. Okay, so there are messages here.
Thank God there ain't no pics.
Right. No.
In these messages.
He would sue me. But there are messages that state, as far as our friendship, I don't know where that's going to go, but he'll never want for nothing. He'll be okay. He'll have whatever he needs. But then you go back and the next day and he's a donor again.
This is giving me a headache, and my name ain't Shane or Shanee.
So yes, but this is why I had to write it out. Because to me, my mind, it was just a whirlwind, just spinning. I'm sure. Because my family kept saying, well, you just wanted him to be a donor, right? And I'm like, yes.
Yeah, but you explained how you wanted it to be. And he agreed to that. That's where, but see, I'm trying to think. The dynamics kind of shifted when somebody else was factored in, and that's what made the situation more complex. Because in the beginning, you laid it down. You said, just a donor. I don't want you involved in any kind of way. And then he came back and revised it and said, okay, I want to be a part of the baby's life. Right. So then he revised it. And then again, when he started with this other person or whatever the case may be, that caused the dynamic to change again, right, which further made it more complex.
So this is why I had to write it. Because think now how this is only a few minutes.
And my head is hurting.
Exactly. So this is how I was for the 9 months. I'm just happy one day, crying the next day, angry the next day, happy for a week. So I had to put it on paper. So
objectively, you wanted a baby.
Yes.
Because you were aging. I can't say that. But you're not aging. I'm just saying. You're not.
Right, but I get it.
Because you're getting older.
I got 13 gray hairs.
Right. I have none. Oh, glory.
Yeah.
But you felt like, okay, look, let me have this baby before I get to the point where y'all all have heard it before. You're getting to that age. You're not going to be able to have babies. So you were contemplating all of that. Right. So you were like, let me go ahead and have this baby. But on this premise, you said, I'm going to do this, but based on this premise. So you started looking for somebody that would agree to the premise that you established. Right. It was a prerequisite prior to any decision being made. Right. And he agreed to that. But he changed it. And that's why, Lord, hope nothing come through that you shouldn't be saying.
It just said somebody sent a photo.
Oh, Lord.
Found a photo. I wasn't even paying attention. So he jumped. He like... Maybe
I just say photo, Lord Jesus. Now, then you gonna say this, Lord Jesus. No, I'm a pastor. I have sinned.
I cannot. What?
They get caught out there. I have sinned.
Oh God.
Next will be my story. Oh, what a
Oh, what a sin.
Yeah, but you basically laid it all down.
Right.
But then again, he changed it. For whatever reason, again, I think he was being pretentious, and he didn't want anybody to think that he was going to be a dad who was neglecting to take care of his child.
So it was easier to be a donor and be around when you want to than be a dad but act like a donor.
Exactly. Yeah, that's really crazy. Again,
I'm talking about Oh What a Shame on Amazon.
Oh What a Shame. Get this book, guys. Again, a very, very, very good read. Okay, so that was the last chapter that I actually wanted to talk about. Right. They're actually, in this particular book, it's actually 15 chapters, all right? All, again, a short read. It's a quick read, but also a riveting read filled with information. So you do want to kind of get it and share it with your friends, share it with your family. Possibly have a night where you can get a whole bunch of people together and read it together.
Right.
I don't know, whatever works for you guys. But yeah, it's very interesting. Now you're doing book number 2.
Yes.
Relative to this same story?
Right. No. So in the back of the book, you see after the chapters are done, we have like my exit out of the book, simply stating that there's times where we feel like we're not good enough, and we're not good enough based off of how someone makes us feel. And for a minute and for a while, that's how he made me feel. Because again, we're talking about 9 years. He's been arrested. He's went to jail. I've been there. You know, never missed a visit, never missed a phone call, never missed putting money on his JPay or sending him books and reading material, stuff like that. So I've always been a friend. Every car accident he's been in, you know, I've been right there on the side of the highway with him, waiting for somebody to come get the car. Like, I was really
excuse me,
a friend to him. So this made me feel like, well, what's wrong with me? Until again, I had to write it out, right? Like, I'm just like, I'm pretty, and this is not a conceited thing, but I'm pretty, you know, I have a beautiful personality, and I'm smart. I have businesses, degrees, like I own my own home. Like, I'm like, what's wrong with me? And the reason that I wrote this book is because I wanted to expose myself so I can have other people, or women specifically, understand that if you were in this situation or are in this situation, it's not you. It's not you, it's him. And I want you to know that you're not alone. And no matter if you think that you're, you know, not worthy enough for these men, just leave. And I wish I would have left, but I didn't leave because God had this baby for me, and this is my purpose. And I believe that after 9 years, the purpose was my son, and I am okay with that. But for a while, through depression, I had anxiety attack every night for a whole week when I first came home from the hospital from having my son, because I couldn't breathe. Like, I just couldn't fathom how someone that helped create this child
didn't want to be involved,
couldn't even call to see if he came into the world safely. And for me, because I love him so much, it hurt. That I'm like, how could you not feel that way, like, to make sure he's okay? Like, so it hurt me so bad, and I had to come to the realization that it's not me. It was never me. So that's the purpose of writing the book. It was to expose my truths, but also to show other women that you can leave. You deserve better. And my uncle told me, which was important, and not to tell the male, what you call that? The guy code. He said, listen to the first thing someone says. So if someone says, I'm not really looking for nothing, but, you know, we'll see where it goes. The first thing was, I'm not really looking for nothing. That's what you need to go off of. That's what you need to run with. Not that we'll see where it goes. I'm not looking for nothing.
and I was just going to say that, because, like you said, I don't think you can be faulted for actually believing what the guy said. Right. Again, you were very clear. You were very upfront about what you wanted. And, you know, I can't fault you for that. But as your uncle said, somebody said to me a long time ago, and I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with this too. They said, believe nothing of what you hear and half of what you see. Mm-hmm. But see, my parents never said that to me. I only discovered that or heard that later on in life, kind of dealing with people who had rough and tough experiences. Right. My life was kind of a life where I didn't have those kind of experiences. So I wasn't acclimated with that kind of thinking. Right. But